Let's look at punctuation. Letters were written in a continuous flow. The only punctuation was a single vertical line or a pair of vertical lines, and they were used to separate words but in an unpredictable manner. And sentences were divided into groups of 3 to 5 words. Okay, direction of writing was from left to right. And it said that ancient Filipinos carved from bottom to top, progressing from left to right simply for safety because they were using a sharp instrument to carve the letters. Now, the clue to the proper orientation of the text was the kudlit or the diacritics. So, for example, you're a little bit mixed up. You don't know how to read a Baybayin text that you found. So, just look at where the kudlits are, and that will help you to figure out what the direction of the text is. Okay. Now, the question that we need to ask is, which text contained the Baybayin? Okay. So first, you have early Spanish works published in a formalized type. Second, Spanish descriptions. Third, you have old documents and signatures. And fourth, you have contemporary specimens. Okay. This is an example from the Doctrina Christiana as early as 1593. And as you can see, the Ave Maria was written in the Baybayin. This is a Filipino legal contract. It dated February 15th, 1613. So, in this same contract, this one is a 1665 document found in Nauhan, Mindoro. And it's entitled La Petición Tagala, then Kaming Mga Alipin, us were slaves. But slaves is not actually a good, that accurate a description of the word alipin. Okay, now here is an example of a signature. Remember I was talking about names, about Don, Dionisio, about when you syllabicate, and it's like Batman and Bat and the T in bat and the N in man, you don't say it. So here, if you look at this, Dioniso Capolo, so the NG is not seen there. Okay. And then you have the Laguna copper plate inscription dated April 21, 900. And what is the Laguna copper plate inscription? So, going back, okay, it was found in the 1980s. What is significant there is, in case you did not know this, I'm going back again. So, this was dated 900 AD. So, what it's saying is the Baybayin was actually there, was used in the Philippines so much earlier. Okay, this is the LCI. The language, they say, was a mixture of Sanskrit, Old Javanese, Old Malay, and Old Tagalog. Now, the Laguna plate was hammered into cold copper. And the reason that they believed that this was a Filipino, or this was from the island, what the islands known as the Philippines, was because it was hammered into cold copper, unlike the Javanese system of hammering into heated copper. The inscription was a pardon from the king of Tondo that erased the death of a man named Namwaran. Now, actually, and because I'm just quoting here a historian, people also say that there was no such thing as a king of Tondo, that people had chieftains. It's not the way the European concept of king that erased the death of a man named Namwaran. And the death was for 1 kati or 8 swarna or 926 grams of gold, which in 2006 was equivalent to about Canadian $18,600. Okay, so this is the translation of Hector Santos, and it seems a little bit more faithful to the original. So he says, Blessing Shaka-related year 822 Y Shaka month by astronomy. 4th day of dark half of the moon, noon Monday. There at that time, Lady Angkatan together with her relative named Buka children of the Honorable Namwaran are given a wish, a gift of full clearance document by the Chief Commander-in-Chief Atundon, who is Honorable Minister Lord Paila Jayadewa. So that's what it says. So it's simply put, it's a document that erased someone else's debt. Okay, and now you have this study by Pedro Paterno. And what Pedro Paterno did, and why, and this is significant, because he actually looked at the variations of the Baybayin script. If you consider the different ethno-linguistic groups in the Philippines, and not only that, he was also looking at similarities with the languages or the scripts of other countries.